The Quantum AI Revolution, Navigating the Perfect Storm of Organizational, Economic and Social Transformation. Abstract. This article examines the converging trajectories of artificial intelligence, AI, and quantum computing technologies over the next 2 decades. Drawing on current research and industry forecasts, it analyzes how these technologies will transform organizational operations, reshape labor markets, and alter societal structures. The analysis reveals 3 distinct phases of impact: an initial period of incremental integration, 2025 to 2030, a disruptive tipping point, 2031 to 2035, and a phase of profound systemic transformation, 2036 to 2045. Organizations face both extraordinary opportunities, from efficiency gains to solving previously intractable problems, and significant challenges including workforce displacement, widening inequality, and novel ethical dilemmas. The article provides evidence-based organizational response strategies and outlines approaches for building long-term technological resilience. These insights help leaders prepare for a future where competitive advantage increasingly depends on effectively harnessing these dual technological revolutions. We stand at the threshold of what may be the most consequential technological revolution in human history. Artificial intelligence has already begun transforming how organizations operate, while quantum computing promises to solve problems long considered computationally impossible. The convergence of these technologies over the coming decades will fundamentally reshape the business landscape, labor markets, and society itself. The stakes could not be higher. PwC estimates AI alone could contribute $15.7 trillion to the global economy by 2030, PwC, 2017. While quantum computing market forecasts suggest significant growth potential, Dowling and Milburn, 2003. Organizations that successfully harness these technologies may achieve unprecedented efficiency and innovation, while those that fail to adapt risk obsolescence. Yet these technologies also present profound challenges. Automation has historically disrupted labor markets while creating new opportunities that require different skills and are distributed unevenly across regions and demographics. Autor et al. 2022. Meanwhile, quantum computing threatens to render current cryptographic systems obsolete, potentially compromising the digital security infrastructure upon which our economies depend. Bernstein and Langer, 2017. This article examines the trajectories of AI and quantum computing over the next 5, 10, and 20 years, their organizational and societal implications, and evidence-based strategies for navigating this dual technological revolution. The emerging technological landscape defining AI and quantum computing in the current context. Artificial intelligence refers to systems that can perform tasks typically requiring human intelligence, while narrow AI excels at specific tasks, like language processing or image recognition. The field is progressing toward artificial general intelligence, AGI, systems with human-like cognitive abilities across domains. Current AI development is dominated by large language models, LLMs, and other deep learning approaches that have demonstrated remarkable capabilities in generating content, solving complex problems, and even exhibiting emergent behaviors not explicitly programmed. Bomasani et al. 2021. Quantum computing leverages quantum mechanical phenomena, superposition and entanglement, to perform computations impossible for classical computers. Unlike classical bits, which exist as either 0 or 1, quantum bits or qubits can exist in multiple states simultaneously, enabling exponentially greater computational power for certain problems. Early quantum computers with thousands of physical qubits have been developed, though practical quantum advantage remains limited to specific applications. Preskill, 2018. The relationship between these technologies is synergistic. Quantum computing can potentially accelerate AI development by solving currently intractable machine learning problems, while AI can help optimize quantum algorithms and error correction. Biermann et al. 2017. Current state and future trajectory. AI development has followed predictable scaling laws, with capability improvements strongly correlated with increases in computational resources, data, and model size. Kaplan et al. 2020. Large language models have demonstrated remarkable capabilities in language understanding and generation, with continual improvements in benchmark performance. Brown et al. 2020. This progression suggests continued advancement, with systems potentially approaching human-level performance across more domains in coming years. Quantum computing has advanced steadily in recent years. Major technology companies have developed quantum processors with increasing numbers of qubits, while academic and industry researchers work toward fault-tolerant quantum computing with error correction. Arut et al. 2019. Research continues to explore potential quantum advantage in areas like materials science and optimization problems. Regional development patterns vary significantly. The United States leads in AI commercialization through companies like Google, Microsoft, and OpenAI. China has made significant investments in both AI and quantum technologies. Europe emphasizes regulatory frameworks like the EU AI Act, prioritizing ethical development. Cath et al. 2018. Organizational and individual consequences of the dual technology revolution. Organizational performance impacts. The organizational impact of AI and quantum computing will likely evolve through three distinct phases: 2025 to 2030, incremental integration. During this period, AI will continue driving efficiency gains across sectors like retail, manufacturing, and customer service. Organizations will increasingly automate routine tasks and leverage predictive analytics for decision support. Research indicates that organizations with mature AI implementations can realize significant efficiency improvements. Davenport and Ronanke. 2018. Quantum computing impacts will remain limited to pioneering organizations in pharmaceuticals, materials science, and financial services. Early applications focus on simulation of molecular interactions and optimization problems where quantum approaches may offer advantages. Cao et al. 2019. 2031 to 2035, disruptive transformation. By this period, advanced AI systems may automate a significant portion of current job tasks, potentially transforming organizational structures and business models. Organizations will likely achieve productivity gains through AI-augmented workforces. Competitive advantage may increasingly derive from proprietary AI models and data assets. Agrawal et al. 2018. Quantum computing may reach commercial viability for a broader range of applications, including materials design, logistics optimization, and financial modeling. The cybersecurity landscape will likely transform as quantum-safe cryptography becomes an operational necessity. Bernstein and Langer. 2017. 2036 to 2045, systemic reconceptualization. In this period, AI systems approaching or exceeding human-level general intelligence could fundamentally redefine organizational boundaries and purposes. Traditional management hierarchies may evolve toward more fluid structures that leverage both human and technological capabilities. Doherty and Wilson. 2018. Mature quantum computing could enable previously impossible computational tasks, potentially addressing challenges in climate modeling, medical research, and complex system optimization. Preskill. 2018. Individual well-being and stakeholder impacts. The dual technology revolution will likely affect individuals across multiple dimensions. Workforce displacement and transition. The most significant impact may be on employment. Research suggests that automation could require substantial occupational transitions as routine tasks are automated. Manica et al. 2017. This displacement may disproportionately affect routine cognitive and manual jobs, while creating new demand for roles in AI development, implementation, and oversight. The skills gap presents a critical challenge. Research indicates that organizations face difficulties finding employees with appropriate AI skills. Buin et al. 2018. Workers without access to reskilling opportunities may face potential long-term unemployment or underemployment. Economic inequality without proactive policy intervention. Technological unemployment may exacerbate income inequality. Research suggests that AI and automation could increase economic inequality if the benefits accrue primarily to capital owners rather than being broadly distributed. Koronek and Stiglitz. 2018. Capital owners who control AI and quantum computing capabilities may capture a disproportionate share of economic gains. Psychological and social effects beyond economic impacts. These technologies may affect psychological well-being and social cohesion. Research on technological change in workplaces suggests that it can increase job demands while potentially reducing job resources, potentially leading to increased stress and burnout if not properly managed. Bakker and Demaruti. 2018. Conversely, AI assistants may reduce workload and stress when deployed as augmentation rather than replacement technologies. Social polarization may increase if benefits accrue unevenly, with potential divides emerging between nations and organizations with access to advanced computing capabilities and those without. Brynjolfsson and McAfee. 2014. Evidence-based organizational responses. Strategic technology investment and integration organizations must develop systematic approaches to AI and quantum computing investment that align with their strategic objectives. Evidence summary. Research indicates that organizations with clear AI strategies and cross-functional leadership are significantly more likely to realize value from their AI investments than those taking ad hoc approaches. Fountain et al. 2019. Organizations with structured approaches to emerging technology evaluation demonstrate better outcomes than those reacting to technology trends. Kane et al. 2019. Effective approaches to strategic technology investment. Establish dedicated emerging technology assessment teams with cross-functional representation. Implement portfolio approaches that balance short-term applications with longer-term transformative opportunities. Develop stage-gate funding models with clear metrics for advancing from experimentation to implementation. Create strategic partnerships with technology vendors, research institutions, and industry consortia. Financial institutions have begun exploring quantum computing applications for portfolio optimization and risk management. Rather than building quantum capabilities in-house, they partner with quantum computing providers to develop algorithms for specific financial applications. This targeted approach allows them to build expertise without overcommitting to a still maturing technology. Herman et al. 2022. Workforce transformation and reskilling as AI and quantum computing transform job requirements. Organizations must systematically reskill existing employees while redesigning work processes to effectively integrate human and technological capabilities. Evidence summary. Research demonstrates that organizations taking systematic approaches to work redesign and workforce reskilling achieve better outcomes than those treating technology implementation and talent management as separate activities. Jesse Thayson and Boudreau. 2018. Organizations that invest in employee development during technological transitions experience lower turnover and higher productivity. Tomby et al. 2019. Effective approaches to workforce transformation. Conduct regular skills gap analyses to identify emerging capability needs. Implement tiered reskilling programs addressing technical, adaptive, and leadership capabilities. Redesign jobs and workflows around human-AI collaboration rather than substitution. Establish internal talent marketplaces to facilitate mobility as roles evolve. Create future of work Governance structures with responsibility for managing technology-driven workforce transitions. Technology companies have implemented AI upskilling initiatives that combine online learning, hands-on projects, and mentorship opportunities. Programs often categorize employees into different tracks based on how they will interact with AI technologies. Systematic approaches to reskilling can allow organizations to maintain continuity while transitioning to AI-enhanced operations. Brynjolfsson et al. 2018. Ethical governance and risk management as AI and quantum computing capabilities advance. Organizations face novel ethical challenges and risk exposures requiring robust governance frameworks. Evidence summary. Research demonstrates that organizations taking proactive approaches to AI ethics experience fewer adverse incidents and better stakeholder relationships than those addressing ethical issues reactively. Floridi et al. 2018. Similarly, structured approaches to novel technology risk management identify potential issues earlier and enable more effective mitigation. Kaplan and Mikes. 2012. Effective approaches to technology governance. Establish cross-functional ethics committees with board-level visibility and authority. Implement AI impact assessments for high-risk applications. Develop testing and validation protocols for AI systems, with particular attention to bias, explainability, and robustness. Create quantum security transition plans to address cryptographic vulnerabilities. Engage with multi-stakeholder governance initiatives and regulatory developments. Leading technology companies have implemented comprehensive AI ethics programs with dedicated leadership positions and external advisory councils. These programs typically involve developing ethical frameworks that assess AI applications across dimensions including transparency, fairness, accountability, and robustness. Systematic review processes help prevent potential incidents that could harm customers or damage organizational reputation. Rogi et al. 2020. Collaborative innovation ecosystems. The complexity and resource requirements of AI and quantum computing necessitate new models of collaboration between organizations, researchers, and public institutions. Evidence summary. Research demonstrates that different collaboration models yield different innovation outcomes, with network-based approaches particularly valuable for complex emerging technologies. Pisano and Viganti, 2008. Open innovation approaches have proven effective for accelerating technology development and reducing individual organizational risk. Chesbrough and Bogas. 2014. Effective approaches to collaborative innovation. Join or establish industry-specific AI and quantum computing consortia. Develop open innovation platforms that leverage external expertise. Forge academic partnerships with leading research institutions. Participate in public-private partnerships for foundational research. Create internal venture funds for strategic investments in emerging technology startups. Research institutes have established collaborative approaches to quantum computing research through multi-stakeholder initiatives. These distributed research networks connect internal scientists with academic partners and technology providers. Focusing on priority application areas allows organizations to access specialized expertise while sharing research costs, potentially accelerating capabilities beyond what would be possible internally. Muller and Vuick. 2017. Building long-term technological resilience. Scenario planning and adaptive strategy given the uncertainty around AI and quantum computing trajectories. Organizations must develop flexible strategic approaches that can adapt to multiple possible futures. Organizations should create structured scenario planning processes that explore divergent technology futures. Research demonstrates that formal scenario planning improves strategic decision-making under conditions of high uncertainty and rapid change. Ramirez and Wilkinson. 2016. This involves developing distinct future scenarios varying key uncertainties like AI capability development, quantum commercialization timelines, and regulatory environments. Effective scenario planning requires identifying robust strategies that perform well across multiple futures. establishing early warning systems to detect which scenarios are materializing, and creating contingency plans for high-impact but low-probability events like quantum breakthroughs that suddenly compromise encryption. Schoonmaker. 1995. Distributed innovation architecture. The accelerating pace of technological change requires new organizational structures that can sense and respond to emerging opportunities and threats. Organizations should implement innovation radar systems that continuously scan for emerging technologies, startups, and research breakthroughs. Research demonstrates that organizations with ambidextrous structures, able to simultaneously exploit existing capabilities while exploring new ones, outperform those focused exclusively on either approach. O'Reilly and Tushman. 2013. This approach involves establishing distributed innovation teams embedded across business units rather than centralizing all emerging technology expertise. It also requires implementing rapid experimentation processes that can quickly test new technologies in business contexts, with metrics focusing on learning velocity rather than immediate ROI. Fair and Dyer. 2014. Ethical leadership and values alignment. As AI and quantum computing raise profound questions about automation, privacy, security, and human agency, organizations must anchor their technology strategies in clear ethical principles and societal purpose. Organizations should develop comprehensive AI ethics frameworks aligned with organizational values and stakeholder expectations. Research has identified key principles appearing across AI ethics frameworks globally, providing a foundation for organizational approaches. Fjeld et al. 2020. This involves conducting regular stakeholder dialogues on technology impacts and societal responsibilities, integrating ethical considerations into technology development processes from inception rather than as an afterthought, and developing ethical skills across the organization, not just among technical specialists. Jobin et al. 2019. Conclusion. The dual revolution of artificial intelligence and quantum computing presents perhaps the most significant technological inflection point in human history. Organizations face extraordinary opportunities, from unprecedented efficiency gains to solving previously intractable problems, alongside profound challenges including workforce displacement, widening inequality, and novel ethical dilemmas. The evidence suggests three distinct phases of impact: an initial period of incremental integration, 2025 to 2030, a disruptive tipping point, 2031 to 2035, and a phase of profound systemic transformation, 2036 to 2045. Organizations must develop strategies that address both immediate applications and longer-term transformations. Those that will thrive in this future share key characteristics. They invest strategically in emerging technologies aligned with their core capabilities. They systematically reskill their workforces while redesigning work around human-machine collaboration. They implement robust ethical governance frameworks, and they participate in collaborative innovation ecosystems that accelerate learning. Perhaps most importantly, they maintain strategic flexibility through scenario planning, distributed innovation architectures, and clear ethical principles that guide technology deployment. These approaches build resilience in the face of technological uncertainty while ensuring that AI and quantum computing serve human flourishing rather than undermining it. The organizations that navigate this dual technological revolution successfully will not merely survive, they will help shape a future where these powerful technologies enhance human potential rather than diminish it.